if they just get out of the way and let the private sector, and the private sector is just full of people, full of individuals, full of free people in society working to help themselves and others at the same time, if they just allow that to happen, like getting government out of the way, it will work. And that's what the conservative believes. Well, I thank you guys for joining me today so far. If you want to instant message me during the show, you can. The screen name is Radio WNSC. Radio WNSC. And if you want to email me and comment on the show, you can at michael.yaffee@knights.ucf.edu. I'm going to play a song here, take a break, and then we'll be right back. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what Nancy Pelosi is up to. I have a little audio for you. Listening to the Michael Yaffee program, WNSC.ucf.edu, online radio. You are listening to the Michael Yaffee program, WNSC.UCF.edu, online radio. So, Nancy Pelosi came out a couple days ago, I think it was yesterday actually, and she said something about healthcare. Even though the polls have showed the American people do not want this healthcare bill that they have passed in the House and Senate so far. Now, it's still got to be reconciled in the House and Senate, but they've passed it in the Senate, and the polls show the American people don't want it. And then Scott Brown was elected in Massachusetts, and he was elected in one of the most liberal Democrat districts in all of America. Or states in all of America, excuse me. And he ran on the fact that he was going to stop health care. And he was elected. The polls show the American people don't want it, but Nancy Pelosi, if you don't know who Nancy Pelosi is, she is the Speaker of the House of Congress. She's like, we're going to do it anyways. We don't really care what the people want. We know what's best for you. See, once again, the status is at work. Once again, the government thinks they knows what's best for you. So here's what Nancy Pelosi said yesterday.
We must pass health care reform.
No, I wish you wouldn't, actually.
The financial aspects of it, the cost to individuals, to their families, to small businesses, to big
Except you're not addressing cost.
To our deficits,
you're just overregulating.
To our economy are huge. We cannot sustain financially.
And your health care bill would actually make it worse.
We, as I say, families, businesses, or the federal government. So this has to take place. The fact is also that as long as people are discriminated against because they have a pre-existing condition, or their policies are canceled because they get sick, or their procedure is denied on the way
Why
to
does
the
she
operating
talk like
room,
she's drooling?
as long as
All that
people
Botox, I guess.
go bankrupt if they have a diagnosis, we must pass this legislation, and we must take whatever time it takes to do it. Some things we can do on the side which may not fit into a bigger plan. That doesn't mean that's a substitute.
Here we go. This is what I'm going to...
comprehensive. It means we will move on many fronts, at any front we can. As I said to some friends yesterday in the press, we go through the gate's closed, we'll go over the fence is too high, we'll pole vault in. If that doesn't work, we'll parachute in, but we're going to get health care reform passed for the American people, for their own personal health and economic security.
Okay, so we're going to go through the gate. If we can't get through the gate, we're going to pole vote in. If we can't pole vote in, we're going to parachute in. I guess if we can't parachute in, we're going to teleport in. Star Trek teleporting. I guess if we can't teleport in, we're going to get a big tank and we're going to go in. I guess if we can't get a big tank to go in, we'll dig a hole and go underground and then go in. And I guess if we can't do that, we will just, I don't know, what's left? Get the big bad wolf to blow down the fence and can't go in. If that doesn't work, we will fly in on big jets and land there. If that doesn't work, we'll use the space shuttle and we'll launch a rocket in. If that doesn't work, see what she's doing here? See, she doesn't really care what's in her way. See, the thing that's in her way is the American people. The American people are rising up and saying they don't want this. That's why she can't get it done. And yet, oh, we're just going to forget. See that fence that she's talking about that she has to go over? That's the American people. Oh, who cares about the American people? We'll just get out of the way. We'll just go over, around, under, through the American people. Even though they don't want this, even though I believe this is a representative democracy, a representative republic in which they represent the people. It doesn't seem like she's representing the whole of the people anymore. No, we're going to go around the people. We're going to go through the people. We're going to go over the people. We're going to go under the people. We're going to go this way and that way, do the hokey pokey and turn all about until we get health care passed. And I hate when she says get health care passed. We have health care in this country. It's not like we don't have any health care. It's not like we have a real crisis. If you want health care, you can pretty much get it. No, she wants government, universal health care passed because she believes the government is what can truly solve things. And even though if we look around the world at all other countries that have it, like Canada or United Kingdom or Cuba, our health care's a lot better. Just saying. I don't know many people leaving the country to go get it. Now, we do have people leaving the country to go get medicine in Canada, but not really healthcare. And they say they want to help control costs because it's expensive. Okay, then why doesn't they address that in the bill? They're not doing anything. They're not doing the real steps that could help control costs. No. They want government to regulate. They want everyone to have access. Well, everyone already has access. And if you go through the emergency room, everyone has access. Access is not the problem, and yet that's what they want to do. They want to create private or the public option so everyone has access. They want to create these insurance markets so everyone has access. They want to tax heavily the so-called Cadillac options, which is just when employers give decent health care to their employees. They want to tax that heavily so they can redistribute that wealth and give it to others. And they're not really controlling the main problem. The main problem is the insurance companies can't compete across state lines. The main problem is costs. Yes, it is expensive, and most of that has to do with government intervention already through Medicare and Medicaid. That's right. If somebody has Medicare, which is a government option, basically, the government can dictate how much they're going to give that doctor. Even if it costs more. Oh, nope, we're not going to pay that much. And the doctor can't say anything about it. So what does that doctor do? He raises prices than everyone else because he's got to make a living. He's got to make a profit. And profits aren't bad. Don't tell me profits are bad. Profits are a good thing. That's how wealth is created. That's how we have a good standard of living in this country. It's another thing we got to get rid of. This whole idea of bad profits. Profits just go back to the employees or back to the people, or they can lower prices, or it helps better the business. See, this is a war to them. This is a war against the American people, which is that fence Nancy Pelosi talked about. She's at war with them. And she's going to go around, over, through them to get government health care passed, like she said. Who cares if that fence is the American people? Who is she supposed to be representing? No. See, this is a good example of how she ignores the American people to get health care passed. Because it's about her status agenda. And it's about her gaining more power for herself and for the government, not about what's best for the American people. Well, I'm going to play a song here, and then we're running it back, and I'm going to continue on this healthcare thing. But I have some good news about it. You were listening to the Michael Yaffee program, WNSC.UCF.edu online radio.